this. I just made a video about valuing yourself. Like I said, I am feeling a little under the weather. I sound a lot better now that I'm sitting up, so my hair is not as on point. I know if it's not presentable, it's not acceptable. I'm tired, and I just want to spit some of this, give you some of this information while I'm off work. So what happens when people don't recognize the struggle or respect the struggle? I'm just gonna give you a little. I'm not gonna tell you a story, but I will say this. I met, and I'm not saying that all people from the inner urban communities or the hood act like this in America, black people, but I've interacted with a lot of African American males mostly that that don't respect the fact that hey, I don't speak like you. I wasn't raised in the same environment for my whole entire life, so they don't understand the fact that I've been through some stuff as well. Maybe not all the gunshots and all the my friends dying when I was in elementary school and crackheads stealing my bike, but at the same time, you have to understand the message more than the messenger. Okay, there's people who literally has said, "I cannot. You're not from the hood. I don't respect people that's not from the hood." Now they might have been younger people, younger ignorant young men, but it wasn't the fact. It was how I spoke. It was how I presented myself. It was how I just how it was. And I've actually been around people because I went through stages where people perceived that I was from an inner urban community. But when they found out, when they would say, yeah, you from the hood, you understand. I'm like, what? No, I'm not. I'm from the suburbs, bro. And they'll be like, just looking at me all disgusted. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I can't dress how I want to dress. That's ignorant. Or people would say, I'll be writing something, or somebody would say, what you writing, bro? And I'll be like, a little rhyme, a little rap. And they'll be like, you rap? I'm like, nigga, why don't you think I write music? Because I don't come from the same world as you. But with that being presented to you guys, what I do want to say is the reason that people will treat you a specific way is because they don't understand their own struggles. They don't understand that other people go through certain things. They don't understand that there are levels to struggles, bro. There are levels to certain. The higher you get, like how they say, new level, new devil. They don't understand that, bro. What you're going through is unnatural. What I'm going through is unnatural. But there's still struggles, bro. There's still things. What you see in certain communities, that's something that nobody should have to experience. That's something that people work very hard to escape. So why would you think that your struggle is more important than my struggle? Why would you think that and you don't know what I've been through to be able to combat certain things? All right, somebody going to jail for 30 days could be worse than somebody going to prison for a year because you were conditioned to live in these situations. This person over here, 30 days could have been, like I said, worse than that year. When people don't value the struggle, when people don't value just hard work, they just want you to give them time free. They forget. That's why they say you cannot forget where you came from. They forget what it means to have pretty much anything. We have all these people begging me like some peasants for certain things. That's pretty much when people want you to give them something free, that's pretty much saying fuck you. I don't care what you did to learn these things. I don't care what you did to earn these things. I don't care what you did and what you went through to maintain what you have going on. I want it free because you have it. Why should I pay for something that you got free? Nothing in life is free, bro. Nothing in life is free. Even this information, if you don't act on, if you don't meditate, if you don't do certain things with information that you think is free, it's gonna take a toll on your energy. It's gonna alter your karma. If you ask me, Aaron Moses, how do you make $1 million? And I tell you, and you go out and you do something else to get that $1 million, that's gonna affect your karma. That's gonna affect your mental health, your karma, your energy, a lot of things. So you can't just get information free. That's the whole point of paying for my readings. That's the whole point of paying for these consultations. That's why I told you guys I already have my circle. Anybody else who comes in that's not paying, that will not build a certain rapport with me, that's when I see that we have nothing in common, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Because people are too entitled. People think they're different, especially it's really the middle. I don't have a problem with the middle. It's the people at the bottom and the people at the top. Because the people at the bottom don't always, and not even the people in the middle. The people at the bottom don't always appreciate hard work. Why? Because we have a lot of, and I'm talking about my peers that I've witnessed growing up. I'm talking about the people who have gotten things that were not necessarily quality, that they didn't have to work too hard for, or they were doing things that they weren't necessarily supposed to be doing to get what they have. So when they see anybody doing anything different to get something, they assume, hey, this person didn't almost risk his life for this money or this knowledge. He didn't almost go to prison for years and years and years to obtain and maintain what he has. So I should get it free. Or this rich person at this man-made tower top might say, well, I had to do this, I had to do this. This person is not as important as they think, so I am entitled to get certain things free when you're totally not. Attention is the most important thing in this world. Attention and time and consciousness, the most important, valuable things in this world. And the fact that people are asking you for money, for knowledge, attention, time, and shared consciousness, and space, you should be not only willing to pay, but be honored that this person is sharing this with you. You don't get people's attention free. Specific types of people. When I made that last video, I wasn't making that for the average person. I was making that for somebody who, if you feel like you resonated with that message, then it was for you. But I was more so making that for the content creators and those people who have their own platforms and people who need people who need more clarity as far as what they need to be doing with their businesses and what they need to be doing with the company that they keep. You know who I learned this from? Sadly. And at first I didn't get it. At first it pissed me off. At first it made me really angry. I learned this concept from, I'm not gonna say his name, but a friend that I grew up with, somebody that I knew at this point for like what 7 years, something like this. This friend sold weed, right? And at first I didn't notice the pattern, and it took about maybe the third or fourth time when I would hit him up. But basically, he didn't want to hang out. He didn't want to just kick it unless I was buying weed. Now there was different factors. There was the fact that the area that I lived in was kind of dry. Even if I were to take the bus out to him, which was right down the street, it wasn't. But how the area spread out, he didn't want to hang out with me unless I was buying weed or I had some money or I knew people who wanted to buy weed. At first that hurt my heart, but then I realized this is his job. This is what he does. That's like requiring, I speak, when I talk, people give me money. So for you to think that it's okay for me to just speak to you free when this is what I do to make money, you you have your priorities all messed up. You're pretty much saying fuck me. Now, if you want a consultation, if you want a reading, people had given me $50 and they never even got the reading. They just wanted to talk for 30 minutes. When I was telling them, bro, you could have got a whole hour for $60. But that's what it is. People are going crazy because I don't want their money anymore. I don't want to give them their attention. I don't want their attention. I don't need their attention. The fact of the matter is, I would be better off without it, because I could have been meditating. I could have been enjoying my life instead of hearing about all your problems and then having you lie to me and complain about your weak life and your weak body and your weak energy and the death that you have dwelling and creating residences in your mind. I could have been I could have been living instead of hearing you complain about all these things and complain about the fact that I value myself enough to be charging you money for you to talk to me. That's that's just what it is. When people don't value you, they won't pay you. When people don't do what you want them to do, is because they don't value you enough. I was watching the show where the guy wanted kids, and the wife didn't want kids. And I'm thinking, if this was um, Miley Cyrus, what's the Billy Ray Cyrus saying he wanted more kids, and that's her favorite country singer, best believe me, she would have more kids. Why? Because she values Billy Ray Cyrus. When I first started rapping, I started making songs where I would say all kind of outrageous stuff. And all these women would be blocking me and telling, "Oh my God, that is so disgusting." But when Lil Wayne says it, it's okay because they value Lil Wayne because he has a lot of social proof, he has a lot of money, pretty much those two things. So you can't act above what your actual value is. That's just it's like a caste system, okay? And you cannot act below. You can't expect me if you have no friends and you're acting very desperate, very needy, and I know that you're being prejudiced and you're doing certain things off of because I'm black, because I look like your favorite rapper, because I have a little bit of social proof, aka clout. That's why you want to talk to me. I'm gonna, of course, see you as lower than me. Of course, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna assume that you're not valuable. You don't see yourself as valuable. All you do is talk about money. Only poor people talk about money. Number one. Only poor people, in whether they're mentally poor, spiritually poor, emotionally poor, they have poor time management. I grew up with people with money. And I never heard them talk about money or how much money their dad had or whatever. They might have said what their dad did. They might have said that their dad was an NFL player or a lawyer or a doctor or a surgeon or a financial advisor, but they never said how much money their dad had. They might have said, "Well, oh, you need to, bro, I'll pay you back the $200. All I have to do is wash the dishes. My dad will give me $200." But they never said, only one person did that, and that dude got bullied all the time. Not because of not because of that. He was just a little asshole. Okay. But poor people who are rich to themselves don't talk about money. That's like people who talk about sex all the time. Something's wrong with them. Okay, if you talk about money all the time, real people, whether they are rich or poor, they just think that's little, bro. Especially rich people think that's little. Because why? Because there's somebody out there with more money than you, and you can't do whatever you want to do because you're still gonna go to jail for something stupid. Just like anybody else. If you do it more than 3 times, you're gonna go to jail automatically because you are gonna die one day. Yeah, you can take it with you, but still, bro. Okay. When you see that people don't value themselves on a healthy level, number one, you need to stay away from those people. Do I smoke cigarettes? Yes, I do smoke cigarettes. Do I drink alcohol? Yes, I do drink alcohol. Okay? I don't smoke weed. I wish I could, but I just don't. But there's not too much more I want to put in this. Not too much more. I think I covered all the bases. But just make sure that you keep yourself safe, that you keep yourself away from these thirsty people, that you protect your vortex, that you protect your energy, that you don't interact with people who don't value you. Wait, that you interact with people who who value you, and you don't interact with people who don't value you. This is like the Kodak Black Master P situation. Kodak Black got mad because Master P wanted him to pay him for handling his legal situation with his record label. He didn't even ask him to pay for his knowledge, for his mentorship. And if he did, he should have been happy to pay that. That's like people want to download books free. People want these free readings you're not going to value the information. You're not going to utilize the information if you don't pay for if you got it free. You're not going to utilize it. You're not going to care about it. Think about think about how you treat things that you got free versus how you treat things that you had to pay for and work for. Things that you had to wait 2 weeks to get this check for 5 times. You took all the money that you saved and you went and bought that thing. Whether it be Beats by Dre headphones, shoes, you would probably treat those things a lot better. Number one, if they were worth more, if they made you feel a certain way. You wouldn't treat them as well as if you got them free, depending on who you are. But on the average, most people don't treat things that they got free as well as things that they had to pay for. Unless it's something really special, like a hat or headphones for me. I wouldn't care if I pay for them or not. I like hats and I like headphones. I like music. This phone, I got the first. See, I had this is the second time I had this specific phone. The first one only lasted like 6 to 8 months. This phone I had for 2 years. You know why? Because I had to pay for that shit. Okay? And it's just common sense. Learning some of this the hard way recently shouldn't have fallen off from the attitude I saw in you that led me to watch your content. I don't know exactly what attitude you may be referring to, obviously, but yeah, I mean, it's a balanced, healthy narcissism, bro. That's what that number 111. Healthy narcissism, healthy arrogance, and healthy selfishness. Is healthy? Then I'm thinking like this is not unhealthy. I know people who charge people for everything. I know people who tell people they can't even charge their phone in their freaking house when they invited them over. I know people who want you to pay for everything for you to hang out with them on their birthday. I know, like, come on, bro. For me saying, "Hey, Nathan, I want you to call me because I'm having problems right now, Nathan. If you, if I ask you to pay me for me being in trouble, that's not valuing you. That's saying fuck you, Nathan. Now there's been I've gone through things and I just needed a stranger to talk to, somebody that I don't have to see every day. I didn't charge them for that because I was the one that needed the aid and assistance. But people call me up and they just want to have all this fun and have all these great memorable times and they're eating shrimp and lobster. And I'm not saying I survive off hot dogs. This is a metaphor. But I'm eating a hot dog, drinking hot dog water through a fucking crazy straw. They want to, just like when I was doing my other thing on YouTube, people were thanking me for the information. This is before I knew about this. People were thanking me for the information that I was giving them, sending me pictures of stacks of money that they made off my information. And I was like, bro, if I have that, if you have that, I should have at least a piece of that, especially if it's 10 of you guys doing this a week. I didn't even realize I didn't know how to make money off YouTube. I didn't even know what it was. This is before Armageddon happened. So I didn't really know. But now I can see clearly what needs to be done when you have a certain following on YouTube. But no, you don't flash money and show people and expect them to just sit back like nothing. If you're talking, this is all you talk and think about is money, 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 and you want to take up all my time, you need to be breaking bread. There needs to be you need to be doing some kind of work. And I don't even charge people physical money all the time. I might tell them, hey, share some of my videos. Share my videos three times a day for 7 days, and then we can have a little consultation or a conversation, whatever that you may require. But no, it's not all about the money. It's about a fair exchange. If I were to talk to specific people for a certain amount of time, it would be you would be fucking really stealing from me. So it's about a fair exchange, bro. I'm not about to just bless anybody with a piece of me that I can never get back, that I could be using to better my son's life. Why would I do that? Give somebody a piece of me. So cutting a piece of my pinky off to mail to you because you need some pinky flesh free. I could be using my mind, body, soul, my time and attention to better somebody's life that is always going to be there. This person that did this around me was, I could guarantee they were always going to be there, only because of how much they lied pathologically, how they act, and how much they hated themselves and didn't value themselves, and how they were acting, the compulsions and all the craziness. Why would I give you something that I cannot replace free, and you view yourself as less valuable than me? Does that make any sense at all? No. That's saying, hey, Aaron Moses, fuck you, what everything that you've been through, what you did to get this money to be able to even talk to me, what you did to get this knowledge, wisdom, and level of understanding. Fuck all that shit. Especially if you view that you're not as valuable as me and you're not giving me anything. That's just stupid, bro. That's just stupid. If Master P or 50 Cent, am I saying they're more about, they've done more, they've achieved more. We could, it's fair to say that both of those people are more valuable to me. And for me to expect anything free from those people, even all the music that I download illegally, that's just selfish. That's selfish and that's unhealthy to think like that. Entitled and spoiled like nobody ever told you no before. But that's it. I'm just ranting at this point, saying the same thing over and over like I don't like people to do. But that's it, guys. I want you to take this information and I want you to, what is, like, I cannot help other people if I can't help myself. No, that's not what it is. It's not what it is at all. I mean, if that's what your case is, that's like if I write a book, if I write a book, right? If I write a 300-page book and it's filled with knowledge that I've obtained by reading, if I had to read 200 books to write this one book, and it took me however many years to read these 200 books to write this one book, that's like saying, hey, Aaron Moses, I knew it took you 5 years to read 200 of these books, three times each, to write this book that took you a year to write, and you put a lot of money behind this project, but I want it free. I want you to. I feel like I'm equal to you. I feel like my knowledge is equivalent to yours, even though I haven't read these hundreds of books that you read. I didn't. I never even read one book in my life. I just learned how to read The Cat in the Hat. I just did. And I could barely even get through that. But what I want you to do is this book that you wrote, based off of you reading these hundreds of books that took you 5 years to read plus, and then write this book. I want you to give me that book free. That's saying, like, how would you feel if somebody did that? That's like saying, fuck you, fuck those books you read, fuck those 5 years it took you to read those books, fuck the pain and the turmoil and all the neglect that you had to dish out to people, and all the parties you had to miss, and everything negative and positive that you had to go through. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. Fuck that shit. I want this shit because I just feel like I should have it. I can't explain why I feel like I should have it. I just learned how I can only read on a second grade level. But I think that this book, something that I'm not ever gonna understand possibly, I want this book free. I understand it's only $29.99 new, and it's $18.99 used on Amazon, but I think I should get this book free just because. I can't explain why, but just because I'm a disrespectful, entitled, spoiled person. That's why I should get it free. Just because. I don't. You don't need an answer. Fuck you. You don't need an answer why I should get this free. That's what I'm talking about. That's the mentality people have towards me. Not everybody, but a lot of people. A lot of people who think that they should have the freedom to be able to just say whatever they want and express themselves and just be. Now, am I ever gonna have friends? I'm just not gonna have friends on social media, not too much. At least people who don't know. People who don't know what I do, then yeah. But I'm talking like I have millions and millions of followers. But this is to prevent anybody from hurting themselves in the future, especially if you value yourself. And this is why. Because I gave a lot of free information now. And this YouTube, I enjoy doing YouTube. That's different. That's different. But my services that people pay for, this is for the masses. This message is for the masses. Can't really pay, can't really charge somebody for me doing this for everybody. Even if the person, the offenders watch this video. The one from Australia and the one from the South. And I grew up in the South. The white woman from the South. I grew up in the South, so I could be talking about any of the thousands of Southerners that I've met in my lifetime. And a lot of them have cancers. I mean, I suppose, you know, things like that. So the people who feel entitled, I don't care where you are, what you come from, that's your fault. No, you got to take responsibility for your value, and you have to align yourself with those people. See, that's one thing. This is the last thing I'm gonna speak about. Then I'm gone for real. Thing about it is, if you want to be more valuable, of course you're gonna need knowledge. Of course you're gonna need to pay for some knowledge. You're gonna have to sacrifice time and pleasure for knowledge or for experiences. Along with that knowledge, you're gonna have to socialize with people more valuable than you. In order for you to socialize with people more valuable than you, you should feel obligated to give them a piece of energy, to give them some money, to offer them some services, some kind of exchange, even if it's something so small as paying for a dinner or buying them a drink, just to ask them a question on how they got where they are, or whatever it is. Just like they say, if you hang out with nine rich people, you're the 10th. But do you think these people want to just be in a room giving you all this information that they had to bleed and cry over and stay up for hours and hours past their bedtime to obtain? Do you think they want to do that? At this point, you're just being a bum. Even if you're the richest person in the world, if you view somebody else as more valuable than you, and you just want all their time and attention free, you're just a bum. You're just a leech. You're just a bum, and you're just a leech. Especially if you're not offering anything. If I tell you I don't need your company, I don't need your money, you're really just taking up space. You don't make me happy. You're just getting on my nerves. You talk about the same little things. You're making my life worse. Like, the least you could do is give me some money. Like, damn. What are you gonna do? Text me some pussy? You can't do that. So you should give me some money. You should feel obligated. You should feel just grimy by sucking off of me, just sucking the brain juice out of my skull. You should just feel horrible about yourself, honestly. Not you, Nathan. If the person that I'm talking about is watching, yes, you. One of those two bitches, if those one of those fucking little whatever the fuck they don't think they are watching. Yes, I'm talking about you. And when I need space to myself, you should respect that and not go crazy. Because that, just like I said, that would lead me to believe that you are dangerous. That would totally lead me to believe that you're dangerous and that you need to be locked away for forever. Like, That's cool though. That's what happens. My energy's pretty addictive. Hair's not that bad. Yeah, I was planning on staying in the bed all day, healing myself. I gotta take a bath, get some of this phlegm out. I can actually just take my hat off, get some of this phlegm out my lungs. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go live again, do another video, talk about socializing. But that's it, guys. I'm waiting for this paycheck to drop so I can get my BM out here. Ugh. But yeah, that's it for real. Value yourself, love yourself, and stay away from those cockroaches that just want to suck, just want to suck off of you. And they don't want to help you out. You don't need to be talking. You don't need to be just talking to random people. Free. All right, but you gotta get that. You gotta get your value up first, man. You gotta start reading these books and going to the gym and eating healthy before you get too entitled. All right, peace.